everyone, I'm going to be sharing with you guys another video on how to do dimensional balayage in dark hair. Now, we did actual balayage and low lights at the same exact time. So I'm going to show you guys how to get this really beautiful cinnamon colored brown hair. I love the way that this turned out because there's brightness and there's depth at the same time to keep the hair looking rich and still interesting. So we're going to go in with our lightener. I'm using the Kenra Clay Lightener again. I'm using 40 volume. This stuff is thebomb.com. I've been using it on all of my clients, and I am doing a 2-to-1 ratio and adding in 1/16 of Olaplex for every 1 to 2 ounces. So in this one, I believe I did 1/32 of Olaplex. My low light is going to be 5NW and 5CB. These two colors create the most beautiful, like spicy brown color ever. So I've got my two colors and I am ready to rumble. So I'm basically just going to give you guys kind of a quick tutorial on this. So doing diagonal back sections, I'm taking rather large sections because my client has finer hair, so I don't want to be doing really fine sections because I want to keep that dimension. So when you're working in larger panels, it's going to give you way more dimension in the hair when you're working on fine hair. Now, working with thicker hair is a different story. You just want to take it to whatever hair type your client is. So finer hair, bigger sections, thicker hair, smaller sections. So I'm basically just kind of painting in panels into her hair, and I'm painting the top half section just on the surface, and then the ends I am completely saturating all the way through using my amazing Framar brush. I decided to go with a Framar brush for this one because I wanted to be specific in my placement. So I'm going to place a little plastic wrap underneath and on top to create incubation and to keep these sections separated. So I'm going to take another section down, and in this section, instead of doing a highlight, I'm going to do a low light. So I'm focusing this on kind of like more toward the mid to ends at first, completely saturating all the way through. If you guys have never tried Shades EQ, you're crazy because it's the best. And then I'm going to lightly feather on top of this section like you see me doing here without pushing it all the way through because I don't want it to get drippy, but I do want it to have the depth all the way up to her root area. So then what I'm going to do is just kind of pull these ends up a little bit so it stays inside my little plastic wrap area for protection, and then I'm just going to lay another plastic wrap on top and then move to another section. You guys can see I'm using fairly large sections because again her hair is on the finer side. So in this front panel I'm going to do a balayage highlight part, and I'm going to focus the highlight more so towards the front of this, towards her face, and then bring this down kind of like a little bit to a slant, and then I'm going to bring it up the back side a little bit to kind of create a V. So it gives her some really nice soft dimension. And then I'm just going to bring this down about halfway and then completely saturate her ends. And if you guys have never tried the Framar brushes and using the back of your hand for balayaging, this is like one of the easiest ways to keep all of your work clean and consistent. And then I'm just going to kind of bring those ends up a little bit, tuck them in so that they stay in the incubation area and not getting on the low light. And I went back and did that to the underneath section too because I forgot about that one. So I'm going to lay another plastic wrap on top of this and then move on to the next section. So really this type of work is just so great because you can totally add in some really beautiful dimension with highlights and lowlights. Just think of where you want to see the light hitting and then the dimension hitting. I love to do one on top of the other so that it makes my highlighted pieces more prominent, and then you just got that really great backup of dimension right underneath it. So we're going to zoom in for a little close-up shot so you guys can kind of see how this stuff works. But clay lighteners are so amazing because they stay on top of the hair, and if you've never tried Kenra's clay lightener, this has been my new ride or die. I've tried a few other brands, and this one just gives me some of the most amazing lift. I tend to work with 30 to 40 volume because that is always giving me the results that I want to see if I'm working on dark hair, if I'm working on lighter hair, and it just works so insanely. And of course, Shades EQ is known for all of the shine that it gives to the hair. I love using this as a low light because a little bit goes a long, long ways. And then a little pro tip for you, if you want your low light to be a little thicker, add some Wondra. It's literally in the baking section. You can grab a little bit of that, mix it in, and it will actually make your product thicker without doling out the brightness of your color, the depth of your color, and it just works so awesome. So I just finished up that top section, and I'm going to go and do that to the rest of the head. And when I'm finished, I'm just going to make sure that all of my sections are completely covered, because I am going to put this under like very, very, very low heat. And it just kind of, it has one of those the oscillating infrared dryers heaters. So I did that for about 10 to 15 minutes on very low heat, again, because with clay lighteners you don't want to be using super high heat. So once we're done, I'm going to go mix up a toner. I'm using 8GG and 6WG for just a gorgeous tone to those bright pieces. So the best part about this is taking it all out and seeing how easy it is to remove all this plastic wrap. And then I'm going to rinse her hair and move on to the toner. So again, this is just going to go all over the Shades EQ, and it's going to give her a really gorgeous shiny finish, help her hair be more manageable, and just kind of seal the cuticle. So I always towel dry the hair before I apply this. And then I just applied this all over. Make sure to always swirl or gently rock your Shades EQ back and forth so you don't disturb the actual molecules in this product. So then again, I'm just going to go put this all through, leave it on for the amount of time that I want. I left this on her hair for about 10 to 15 minutes. So once you have that all out, you just shampoo and condition like normal. I always advise my clients to wait 48 hours before washing their hair again, because this allows the cuticle to completely close down. And you guys can see, look at how beautiful this finish is. I think sometimes we're afraid to get into the GGs and the WGs for a little bit of that warmer tone. And I am telling you, I am totally digging these really nice, rich, super warm tones, because warm is so pretty, and I feel like a lot of us forget that and want to go towards the ashy side of color, which I love too. But hey, don't forget about these beautiful rich browns. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. If you want to see another video on a balayage on brunette hair, click the link and come watch and hang out. Bye!